All right, everyone, we are going to be starting our end of the year memory books today. So the first thing you need to do is write your name right here on the line. Write your grade. Teacher is Howell or Mrs. Howell. And then your school is Jenny Wilson, or you can write JW. After you do that, you can pause if you need to write some of this. Okay. You can go back and color after our writing today, make this really, really cool. But our first page that we're going to do is writing about stuff that we have learned. And after we do our writing together, you can always go color. You can look at your pictures. You can glue pictures in. If you want to glue a picture of your face right here, you totally can. We're just going to do the writing part now, but afterwards you can go back and color and add pictures to make it look really awesome, because this will be your book of memories about first grade. So I've learned so much. The most important thing I learned this year was, so think about some things we learned this year. Oh, I hope you can't hear that. I just had some noise outside. So the most important thing I learned this year was, let's see, we learned about how to tell time. Oh my, there's a lot of noise. I hope you can't hear. We learned how to tell time. We learned how to read and sound out words. We learned a lot of sight words. We learned, let's see, we learned a lot of how to count to 120. We learned how to solve hard math problems. We learned about place value. We learned how to write. Maybe so you can think of some things you learned in art or music or science or PE that you learned. We learned about our zones. We learned a lot of things. So choose what you think is the most important thing you learned. I'm just going to choose reading. So I'm going to say the most important thing I learned this year was to become a better reader. I think I'm going to write that, to become a better reader. I could just say, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to write, to become a better reader. You could even write, maybe you learned to be a good friend. I'm not paying attention. I'm listening to the sirens outside. So you can write that. You could say you got better at math. You could say you learned how to add and subtract, how to count to 120. You can write whatever you want that you learned. My favorite thing I learned was, favorite thing you learned. And then some other fun things we learned. So think about some things that you did maybe in music or PE or art or science or library. Maybe think of something fun you did for those. Okay, and write some of those ideas down here. You don't have to do complete sentences, you can just write some ideas, okay? And then your favorite thing you learned. My favorite thing was just being with you guys, but think about what your favorite thing was and write that down. Maybe you could learn how to be a good friend. Maybe the favorite thing you learned, you'll just have to decide. And if you have a hard time thinking, go back and look through those pictures, okay? Look through the pictures that I gave you, and that might help you remember what you want to write for what you learned, your favorite thing, and other fun things that you learned. Okay, so go ahead and do that. After you're done, you can color and add pictures, and I will see you tomorrow.